The Ghost of Umu Okwe. In the quiet village of Umu Okwe, life had always followed a calm rhythm. By day, the farmers went to their fields, the women to the streams, and the children played under the mango trees. But once the sun dipped behind the hills and the shadows grew long, a thick silence would fall. This was not the silence of rest, it was a silence of fear. For many weeks, a strange terror had gripped the village. A ghost, or so it was believed, haunted the bush paths at night. Those returning late from the next village or from the market square often came back breathless, eyes wide with terror. They spoke of a tall white figure leaping from the shadows with eerie howls and unearthly sounds. Some even swore they had fainted on the spot. Fear spread like wildfire. Women stopped attending evening meetings. Men refused to go to evening palm wine gatherings. Even the brave hunters of Umu Okwe began to return home before the sun went down. Children no longer played under the moonlight, and the village square, once lively with folk tales and laughter, became eerily empty after dusk. But unknown to many, this ghost was not of the spirit world. His name was Mazi Antaik, a mischievous man who took great pleasure in frightening others. He would wrap himself in white cloth, hide in the bush, and at the sound of approaching footsteps leap out like a spirit from the underworld. The thick darkness helped his act, but with no streetlights and only the moon to guide travelers. His tricks worked perfectly. He howled, moaned, and sometimes rolled on the ground, sending his victims fleeing into the night. The fear was real, but the ghost was not. One day, the youths of the village, tired of living in fear, decided to act. They called a secret meeting under the old Udala tree. Among them were Obina, the hunter's son, Ekin, who had once been chased by the ghost and lost his slippers, and Nkachi, the fearless daughter of the village blacksmith. "We must end this nonsense," Obina declared. "Ghost or no ghost, it cannot be stronger than the sons and daughters of Umu Okwe." That night, while the village lay still and fearful, the youths armed themselves with sticks, lanterns, and courage. They split into groups and hid along the known bush paths where the ghost often struck. They waited and waited. Hours passed, the insects sang their usual songs. The wind whispered through the leaves. Then, just before cockcrow, they heard it. A strange, hollow moaning came from the path leading to the stream. "Huu, I am the spirit of the night. Return to your homes," Eking signaled, and the youths crept forward. There he was, a figure covered in white, leaping and dancing like a spirit drunk on palm wine. But this time, instead of frightened villagers, he met determined youths. "Get him!" Before Mozi Netaik could disappear into the bushes, he was surrounded and tackled to the ground. The white cloth slipped from his head, revealing his familiar face. The youths gasped, "Mazi Nike." Their shock turned into laughter, then into anger. "You mean all this while, it was you?" The next morning, the entire village gathered at the square. Mazi Antaik, tied and silent, stood before the elders. His face was full of shame. The village chief, Igwe Nuwasu, rose and addressed the people. "You have made people afraid. You stopped children from playing, women from gathering, and men from walking freely. You have disturbed the peace of Umu Okwe. As punishment, the elders decreed that Mazi Entaik would sweep the entire village every morning for 6 months. Not only that, he would wear a bell around his waist, so all would hear him coming. No more hiding. From that day forward, peace returned to Umu Okwe. The women began their moonlight tales again, the children played late into the night, and the men resumed their evening palm wine stories. Even the Udola tree seemed to dance again in the moonlight breeze. And as for Mazi Entaik, every morning, broom in hand and bell jingling, he swept the village paths. A living reminder that no matter how deep the night, the truth will always come to light.